Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, and I'm going to be making this quick intro tutorial on how to get started with CAD. For those who don't know, CAD is computer aided design, and you can create designs like this by using a program like what I'm using now called Shaper 3D. I primarily use this one because it's on the iPad and it's a lot easier for me to navigate using the touchscreen. So that's one pro of this app. It is a paid subscription. They do have a free version of it that allows you to do two models and export it into a low quality STL, but nobody wants to do that because you're not going to get any detail from that. So but if you just want to mess around, Shaper 3D is a good tool to start off with, at least if you have an iPad and would prefer using a touch input instead of a keyboard and mouse. Not to say that there's no place for a keyboard and mouse. There are definitely good uses for it, but for me and the way I design, I prefer Shaper 3D. So for right now, what we're going to do is we're just going to look around here on the viewport, and if you can see on the upper right hand corner, when I'm moving this with my finger, I can go up, down, left, right, and basically kind of orbit around a space. So you have your X, Y, and Z axis there. You could also grab the cube and you could use your Apple Pencil to kind of navigate all around, but it depends on what you want to do. I just like to use my fingers because it's faster for me to get to a side of an object. We're not going to go through all of the tools here, but I would like to get started on creating something that's simple, like a business card that you can print out and give out, put your name on it, and customize it how you like. So let's get the dimensions of a business card. And what I'm doing right now off screen is I'm just Googling business card. So dimensions. So let's take a look here. So a business card dimension is 3.5 by 2 inches. So what we can do there now is that if you like metric, please say in millimeters. As you can see, I'm already in millimeters. To get here, by the way, is you click on this top part here, or we can go into inches. And then from there, you can go into fraction or decimal. I definitely like doing decimal for everything, but it depends on how you want to do your units. But for me, I'm going to do millimeters because it's a lot easier for me. I have a caliper that I like to use, and it spits out in its measurements in millimeters and inches, but I just like working in millimeters. So stick to whatever unit you're used to and don't try to translate between the two units. It's gonna hurt your head. But that leads us to our next topic of translation. So basically we got our dimensions here, so we're gonna go with 89 by 51 millimeters. So we're gonna go to sketch, we're gonna draw a rectangle, and this is already too big, so way too big, but that's okay. So we'll do 89 here, and then we will do 51 on this side, and that will get us to our super regular sized business card. So what I'm going to do is what I did here was I double tap to select it, and you could exit the sketch. And now what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to bring it as close to the center as possible here of our origin, and there's going to be a reason for that. So I'll put it like right here. It doesn't have to be perfect. You could if you want, but not a big deal. But now we have our card, but a business card isn't a perfect corners, right? So we're gonna fix that. So we have our sketch here, and what I previously did was I called extrude. So basically you just tap and then you pull up. We'll do maybe 4 millimeters at best, and then we're starting to get our business card. I'm going to change this maybe 2 to make it more card-like. I don't have my caliper to measure, but I can ask Google, so that's what I'm going to do. Thick is a credit card. So 0.3 inches in millimeters. 0.76. That's not even 1. So that's not crazy, but makes sense. So we'll do 0.76, and then we'll get our card size. Also with business cards, I guess if you print it out, you have these corners, but let's try to make it look like a credit card, business card. You know, give it some flair. So what we're gonna do, we'll do that, and we'll just round it off. So I'll undo this so I can show you guys. But if you push in, it's called a chamfer, and then if you pull out, it's a revolve. So we're going to do that. We're going to do a revolve instead of a chamfer. So we'll go here, select the corners, and now you could just pull out, and we'll give it like maybe a 5mm one, and then that's starting to look good. But obviously nobody's gonna want to just use, you know, this plastic card that we're gonna print out. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to add some text onto here. Now what I like to do is to kind of emboss it. So basically I'm going to push it in. But in order to do that, you're going to take a construction plane, tap on the top, and then it's highlighted. You click next, and then now you could pull this up a little bit. So when you select this plane and you type in, like, let's say add text, let's say actually let's do something else with this. What's a good font for us? We will use Damascus. Nah, let's do this one. This looks nice. We'll bald it too. Let's say it's caps lock CAD for all. Actually, we'll make that tighter, and then we'll do 4. And I could also return that. And then there we go. You can click done, right? So this is looking good. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this, take these geometries here. I'm gonna pull it down slightly, and then you'll see it start to like extrude. But as soon as you go to a face, it does a cut. So that's a cut right there. But as you can see, we went all the way too far down. So we don't want to go too far down, maybe just that much. And voila, we now have ourselves our card. So we centered this right for a reason. I'm gonna delete this plane that I made. So this is where the sketch was for our letters, but we don't need it right now. You could either delete it or hide it. I'll show you that really quick. So if you go to your items here, which is right there, you can select this, and then it'll highlight what you selected, and you can just turn it off. You could also delete it. You could also make like a folder if you want and put it in the folder to keep your features and planes organized. But for me, I just like to delete it if I don't really need it, or if you really want to save it, you could hide it. So those are some options for you for organization. So we're gonna yeah, we're gonna just remove that. I don't need a folder, and we're gonna hide this. But putting this in the origin, or at least near the origin, and if you zoom into it, like you could tap 2. Usually you could tap 2. There you go. But we just entered a sketch mode. But now you could take the box on the upper right hand corner, and now you can just like kind of go around your model. But yeah, so this was an easy file to make. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this project, and I'm going to upload it onto a Google Drive, and so anyone who has access to Shaper 3D can follow along this tutorial and make yourself a little business card. And I'm going to 3D print this just to test it out. So I'm going to show you the sketch, that sketch, and as you can tell, the sketches are not on the same plane, right? So, all right. I hope you learn a little bit from this simple business card tutorial, and I'll catch you in the next video.